ask you a question today. How do you know if someone really has changed? Well, we're going to talk about that today, so let's go straight to our devotion. One of the interesting characters of the Bible is John the Baptist, and I just can't even imagine what he looked like and how he worked, but John preached a strong message of repentance. You see, he was preparing the way for the Messiah who was to come, and so because he went before him, he preached the message of repentance. There needed to be change in people's lives. And one day, a group of religious leaders came out, and he nailed them. He said, "You brood of vipers, what are you doing here?" And he goes on. He was very harsh with them. And then he says, "Bring fruit of your repentance. If you say you've repented, I want to see the fruit of your repentance." He said, anyone can say I'm a child of Abraham, but God can make these stones cry out and say that. But you need to have fruit. If you've truly repented, you need to have the fruit of your repentance. Now, what does that mean, the fruit of your repentance? Well, if you've changed on the inside, then there ought to be something on the outside that shows that there's a change on the inside. And so when God does this work in your life, you're going to treat people differently. You're going to speak differently. You're going to what you consume is going to be different, both mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. In other words, you're going to be different on the inside, so it's going to have an effect on the outside of you. And if there's no change on the outside, then you have to wonder if there's a change on the inside. Now, it's not just a matter of doing certain things and stopping doing other things. It's a matter of your heart being changed. And when your heart is changed, it's going to affect everything else in life. That's what happened to me when I came to know Christ. He came into my heart. He changed me. I could not keep doing the same things that I was doing. I couldn't keep using the same language that I was using. I could not keep acting and living in a manner in which I have been acting and living. Listen, the great revivals have always been characterized by repentance and the fruit of repentance. I remember when I went to Belfast, and that's such an interesting city, and it has quite a history to it. But one of the things in the history is a man by the name of W.P. Nicholson. And Nicholson preached in a church, and God moved and worked and sent revival to that church, and the church wouldn't hold the people, and God had just moved in a mighty way. But do you know what happened? The warehouses were filled with things that people had stolen and taken, and when they got right with Christ, they brought those things back. They made it right. They not only had an inside change, but they said, you know what, I've done something to someone and I need to make it right. I need to restore it. There was restitution. You see, there was fruit with their repentance. When we truly have repented, when there's truly a change that's been wrought by Jesus Christ in our hearts, there will be fruit that will come out of our lives. It doesn't mean that we'll be perfect, but we'll start making some changes to the way we live. There will be an outward expression of the inward change that has taken place in us. So bring forth the fruit of your repentance.